Hello everyone, Matthew here with Convert4. The following is an instructional video covering a system we created to better utilize assets created internally by copywriters, designers, videographers, editors, any type of creative position. The purpose of utilizing this tactic is to 1. Increase the efficiency of your marketing team, 2. Repurpose existing assets and drive down overall marketing department costs, and 3. Create a more suitable environment for your marketing channels to perform at their best. I first discovered this simple modification while observing my own team's operating costs and looking at the day-to-day input and output of my team members. I noticed there was quite a substantial amount of time spent creating new assets and not really enough time spent on what happens after these assets were created. So without further ado, this is the Convert4 stream on digital marketing, building efficient systems, and growing websites' visibility. If you enjoy it, subscribe on YouTube, give it a thumbs up, or simply just connect with me at the below links in the description of this video. Let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be going over this diagram that I created on this website called Lucidchart. For those of you who don't know about this web-based product, it's pretty cool. It just allows you to build flowcharts relatively easily, and they have a free account, and yeah, it just makes great for instructional purposes. So I call this system the Convert4 Asset Afterlife system. I thought it was well suiting because most of the time we're so busy creating new assets, and there's always new projects on the horizon and new products that new product sprints that we have to worry about getting through and meeting deadlines. Oftentimes, once something gets created or published, it tends to be forgotten about. And that could be within your blog, it could be within your YouTube channel, it could be in many different areas of your business. And this is something that should have more attention focused on, because as we know, in organic search and in SEO, things that have assets that have a longer lifespan, so aged assets like a blog post that's 2 years old versus 1 month old, most of the time, if it's not news related, is going to have a better opportunity at ranking and bringing in organic search traffic every month. And if you think about it this way, that's just because the page has had time to age. It's collected a lot of data. Google's looked at that data, and if all things line up as they should in a proper SEO campaign, it gives it a sense of authority and an increased presence because of just age. Google trusts things that are more that are aged rather than fresh websites, as you know, they continually combat affiliates and SEOs who are gaming the search engine. They don't want any fly-by-night companies or fly-by-night websites that don't look like legitimate businesses, and they're grading web pages the exact same way. So one benefit to this is taking your aged assets and just giving them the authority and attention that they need to bring you more traffic and to bring you more revenue. It's already there. You've already created it. You've already published it. It just needs a little bit more attention, and you can create these reoccurring assets that are going to benefit your traffic long term. So what we're looking at here is a typical setup of a marketing department. You have your writer, you have your video editor, maybe you have a graphic designer. Now your writer creates blog content, and what happens after that? They publish it, right? They publish it to your blog, or they publish it to your social media channels to get organic reach and organic traffic from social channels like Facebook, Instagram. You guys know what I'm talking about. And once that's done, or maybe it goes out to an email newsletter, but once that's done, once your initial promotional strategy is finished, the circuit's closed, the loop is closed, what happens next to that piece of content? Really think about it. Do you go back and revise that piece of content? If you're an SEO, or if you have an SEO, are you building links to that pieces of content? Are you promoting it to other websites? Are you doing influencer marketing and having that article shot out in Facebook groups and private Instagram pages? Or are you just looking at what's next in the pipeline? And none of this is anyone's fault. I want to make that clear. This is the typical structure, and this is what we've all been taught as to how things should run. But there is a better way to do things, and this Afterlife system is going to show you one example, and it applies to many, but I just want to show you one example just to kind of get the point across and get the tactic across so you can implement this yourself or reach out to us and we can help you do this because we it's with every client that we work with. So in this example, we're going to look at video editors, creating videos, publishing to YouTube. So here's the system, right? So if you look at the process or the SOP or system of a video editor, they get the footage, maybe they shoot it themselves or they get it from one of your videographers. They edit the footage and they publish either for the intent of an ad that goes out maybe on Facebook, or maybe you push it out to your vlog, maybe you push it out to YouTube. For this specific example, I just want to use Facebook ads as a sample here. So this system, we would create one video asset, or maybe you create one video asset for your blog, and instead of just publishing it and forgetting about it, this system, what we're recommending is to, one, transcribe the video and timestamp. So we're getting timestamps of different topics covered within the video, and we're getting it transcribed. Now, how does this help you, or how is this going to help you? When you do that, as we all know, and I'm sure my video people who are listening to this can relate, to find footage of something that you're looking for, maybe you need to run an ad on a specific topic that was run, or maybe you get a request from your ads manager and they say, hey, I need this topic to run as an ad. You're solely and purely relying on your memory, maybe some search functions within your blog, or maybe a site search on Google to find the existing footage that has this topic, right? Or maybe you're relying on your memory, which is even more difficult because you have so much to deal with already. Now, what this transcription does is, after you start getting in the habit of doing this for every single video and cataloging this transcribed word by word of each video, you start to develop a topic and a word cloud of what each video is about. And once that's tagged, all you have to do is go into your database, which we can set you up with really any preferred method. We have our own suggested databases where we store this information, but you can really use any database or cloud-based file storage system. But really all you do is go in there and do a Control F search. And you can search for literally anything. And because every video is transcribed, it'll show you what video content you have that are speaking about that topic. And it'll show you the timestamps within each video where that topic is covered. Now, how long does that take? It probably takes you 10, 15 seconds, 30 seconds to say, hey, ads manager, we have 5 different videos with these timestamps. Which would you prefer? And you shoot that content over to them, and they get to pick and choose what they'd like to clip or what they'd like you to clip. And how much time did you just save, right? I mean, it depends on how much content you create, but if you're creating content on a daily basis, man, this is going to save you hours and hours and hours every month. Now, on top of that, the next really phase portion of this is to tag it. So you're going to start to create a tag-based system similar to what you would do with a WordPress blog, where you add tags to each blog post to kind of further categorize your types of different content that you're producing. And upon doing that, you're creating your own searchable database that you can reference back to or repurpose or really utilize for any purpose you'd like. But once that's organized and archived, it'll be a nice little file management system. Everything will be easily able to be found. Now, here are some specific system benefits that you can use for this type of system, and this is just for video, I think. But some things that you can do are you can create ad assets on the fly without having to dictate what type of footage should be shown. If you have a virtual assistant, or if you have maybe a junior on your team that's not as experienced, this makes it extremely easy for them to find assets and follow some type of template or procedure, or even look at existing assets you've produced and have them just pump these out. This is how we combat creative fatigue. If you guys are familiar with media buying, creative fatigue is a big deal right now on Facebook, and this is how we combat that. We have this system implemented for a few of our clients, and we have someone in here just creating assets all day because they have this search function, and we just have a war chest of assets to use at any time based off of any topic we want. You can use them for social posts, so you can create micro content, 10, 15, 30-second clips, 1-minute clips, whatever you decide to use. You can use that as micro content if you get behind, or if you want to schedule content out ahead, or if you just want to test something, maybe putting out different subjects and getting a feel for what your market is interested in. You can do that as well. You can add the media to blog pages. As we know in SEO, added multimedia in video or GIF or image type of formats add additional SEO benefit, and it just makes your page just more visually enticing and appealing, which is going to help with keeping people on the page longer and ingesting your content and really digesting your content more. That's one benefit too. Time management. This is a big one. This is one of my favorite topics of discussion, solely because once you get to a certain level, it's no longer about what you do. It's how efficiently you do it. And we're always trying to improve, right? We're always trying to improve our systems, make them faster, better, because in the end, that's really the only thing we're competing with our competition on. Tactics tap out, skill level taps out, strategy. Debatably, there could be one strategist better than the other, but it's really not hard to figure out what your competition is doing and replicate that. So really, what does it come down to? It comes down to assets financially, right? Who has the bigger budget? And that budget effectiveness is multiplied by your efficiency and your ability to perform whatever is within that budget at a faster pace than your competition. So let me give you an example. If we have one client paying us $5,000 a month and we had 0 systems, we're going to deliver $5,000 worth of services every month to that client. Now, if we look at how our business is structured now and how our team is structured now and how our services are structured now, we have systems that we're constantly revising and improving, which cut down our time investments. And now maybe we're operating at a 1.5 times rate, right? 1.5, just 150%. So 50% normal than what we would normally operate at. Now, instead of that client getting $5,000 worth of rendered services, now they're getting $7,500, right? Because we're adding an additional 50% of benefit or 50% of asset to their campaigns every month. Because we're running more efficiently, we're still going to allocate the same amount of time. We just do it faster and we do it better. So that's how this type of system and this type of belief is going to improve your marketing department. If your overall marketing costs are $40,000 a month, $50,000 a month, just in payroll, imagine if you could increase the time efficiency, the time allotment that your team members work at by 30%. Right? You can either cut down and lean down, or you can give them more time to spend strategizing on things that actually matter and less time spending on redundant tasks that aren't going to be moving the needle. So it's just something to consider. Another thing would be production velocity. So because you're making your systems more efficient and you're utilizing the back end of your content creation, and you're no longer as focused, it's a 90-10, it's an 80-20 type of principle. You should be creating content all the time, and most of the time. But let's shift some of your attention and let's shift some of your resources into this back end process, which in most cases is going to produce more assets than your original intent. Because put it this way, if you were to create a podcast, which is 60 minutes long, think how many 15, 30-second, and 60-second clips you can pull from that podcast and create micro assets from, right? There's probably tens, if not more than that. Now, if you were to create each of those assets individually, take the time to set up, shoot, edit, that's going to take a lot of time. So the production velocity that you can utilize with this system is going to, I'd be very surprised if it didn't make your department run more efficiently, and if you got actually ahead of your projects instead of always trying to catch up. You're also going to see better results. I mean, omni-channel from doing this, anything from SEO to media buying. I've seen this system, when implemented correctly, it makes a huge difference. Like I said, we're driving down ad costs right now just because we don't hit creative fatigue as often. And when we do, we immediately have new assets to launch and we don't have to worry about it. Another thing, right? We kind of spoke about this earlier with the time management, but increased efficiency equals increased profitability. And I've seen this happen time and time and time again, especially now during this coronavirus pandemic. You know, a lot of companies, a lot of our clients are, you know, had to trim down some type of content creation, or we had to trim down budgets in a lot of these categories. And because these systems are implemented versus the ones that aren't, we're still running at an efficient pace and we're not getting behind, and we're seeing recovery much more quickly than I think we would if we didn't have these systems in place. So consider the efficiency, consider improving the efficiency of your back-end processes and what that would do to your profitability and what that would do to your team's morale, knowing they're getting more done, they're getting out ahead of their projects, and everyone's spending more time on what they really care about and what they want to do. So that's all I got for today. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments below, or if you want me to do more videos like this. I can also go into detail as to how we build out these processes and how we kind of build out the system and check for flow and test and do all sorts of things. This is what we're really passionate about and what makes a big difference for our clients and why most of them decide to work with us over competitors. So I hope this helps you guys. Again, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe to our channel, give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Talk soon.